Hi there, it's Catrin. Thanks so much for joining me. This video is about what are the weights exercises, the only weights exercises you need to do. Now, some of us love weights, and particularly if, for example, you're a competitive bodybuilder, you'll be doing a lot of weights. But if you are looking to add it to your routine or have it as part of a range of exercise you do, what are the basic exercises that you need to do to get a strong and muscular body? I'm going to talk about 4 exercises. These are the 4 exercises that you need to do as a basic in any weights program. The first exercise I want to talk about is the deadlift. The deadlift is either a straight deadlift or even what's called a Russian deadlift or a Czech deadlift. What you are doing with either of those exercises is lifting weights from the floor with either straight or semi-bent legs. The exercise particularly your legs, your lower back and your glutes. It can also engage your core, your shoulders. It's a really good all-round exercise. You can do it at home, you can do it at the gym. Obviously if you're at the gym, then you've got more flexibility in terms of the equipment you use, so you can use a bar for it or dumbbells. I personally prefer to use a bar only because I can go heavier, and I also use straps for the bar, but you can use at home if you can use dumbbells. The secret with a deadlift is to get your technique right, and if you look on this website, if you look on this channel, you will find a couple of technical videos on deadlift, so just search deadlift or go to my playlist on legs and you'll find it in there. It's also I think in the playlist on compound exercises, so have a look there. You need to go heavy enough that you are struggling. As a learner, you should be struggling around about the 10 to 12 rep range. As a more advanced strength trainer, then you should be struggling at the 6 to 8 rep range. As a learner, you should be doing between 2 and 3 sets. As a more experienced, you can cut the weights, cut the number of repetitions and increase the weight and go to 4 to 5 sets. So the deadlift is the first of the 4 exercises that I would say you need to do if you want to have a strong muscular body without doing masses of weights. The second exercise that I recommend is the squat. It's similar to the deadlift, and obviously it's predominantly for the lower body. It's a great weight-bearing exercise. It exercises everything, including even it can be a cardio exercise. It's a fantastic all-over exercise for power and for strength. You can do it, obviously you can do a squat with dumbbells, or you can do it with a bar. If you do it with a bar, you can go heavier, and you can go, if you have a training partner, you can go quite heavy, because your training partner is there to help you on the way if you get to the bottom and you're struggling to get back up. Just like the deadlift, the squat uses your lower body, so it uses your particularly your quads and your hamstrings and your glutes, but it also uses your core because you've got to keep your upper body stable. It uses part of your chest and your back and your arms. It's a really fantastic exercise for developing some muscularity, and if you particularly want to develop size in either your butt or your upper leg, your thigh, it's a great exercise for that. So I've talked about the squat, I've talked about the deadlift. And the next exercise I want to talk about is the pull-up. And the pull-up is an exercise which a lot of guys do because it looks good, but from a trainer's perspective, it is a fantastic exercise, a compound exercise, but one that particularly targets the back. A lot of guys spend a lot of time doing chest presses and end up with this sort of slightly hunched look because they're not exercising their back. If you want to stand in a proper warrior style, male or female, you need to make sure that you're exercising your back so that your back muscles balance out your front muscles. So doing a pull-up is a great way to exercise your back muscles. Now the thing with the pull-up is you need to get the technique right. So when you're getting your handholds, you want to vary your handholds, but go as wide as you can, because the wider you go, the more you exercise your lats. The narrower you go, use the center of your back. But if you want to create this sort of shape in your back, which is a very much a muscular shape, you need to hold nice and wide. Okay. So again, I think with that one, get your technique right. You're going to struggle initially if you've not done pull-ups, but with any exercise, the more you practice, the easier it will become. You will, if you practice, get to a stage where you even need to add some weight when you pull up, and you've probably seen people in the gym who wear a belt which has a weight hanging from it, and that is really just to increase the intensity of pull-ups. But you're probably not going to do that at the start, and that's fine. For a woman, pull-ups are something which are It's something which you don't naturally use your back muscles in to that extent initially, but we're no different physiologically from men. If we do pull-ups enough, they will become easier. So that's my third exercise, which is a pull-up. Now my fourth exercise, it's a chest exercise. There are 2 ways you can exercise your chest in a sort of essential way. The first is with a straightforward press-up, and the other option is with a chest press. Now, the press-up is a much maligned or much neglected exercise. It's a fantastic whole body exercise that really exercises your chest and your shoulders and your core. It's a really fantastic exercise for developing some size here. You can obviously increase the intensity with press-ups by adding either by moving your hands around. You can do one-handed press-ups. You can do a press-up with one hand stable on the ground and one hand holding a dumbbell that you roll. You can do the same thing with a Viper, so you have one hand stable on the ground and the other hand is rolling with a Viper. So there's all sorts of ways you can do to increase the intensity of a press-up. You can also add some movement to it so that it becomes more a power exercise. So with that, it's something where you go down into a press-up, and as you come back up, you clap or you spring up and then go land back down and then up and spring up. So there are ways to add power to that exercise. If for whatever reason you want to do something other than that as a chest exercise, then the classic gym exercise for your chest is the chest press. I prefer the press up only because you get a better range of movement in your shoulder joints, because you're not lying on your back and your shoulder blades aren't trapped in effect underneath your body. But you can also obviously use the chest press, and you can get, particularly if you use the chest press at an angle, you'll get good upper chest development, which is the curve here. Particularly as we age, we tend to lose a lot of fat just below the collarbone. You can end up looking quite scrawny. If you are looking to do weights as a way to plump up or to anti-age, then doing a chest press at an incline around about 30 degrees is really good for developing this upper part of the chest. So I am a favourite chest presses, but I probably would say of the two, I would go with a press up as the other main exercise. So we've talked about the deadlift, we've talked about the squat, we've talked about the pull up, and talked about the chest press or press up. Those are the 4 essential exercises that I would recommend as a weights trainer as being the ones that you ought to do in a weights program. If you don't have the inclination all the time and you just stick to those 4 exercises, you will end up with a muscular body, you will end up with a fit looking body, and you will end up with an increase in power, an increase in energy, an increase in calorie burning, all because you're building muscle. So that's my advice. If you've got any comments, then please put them below this video. Please share this video, and also just click subscribe below. I've got some, on this channel, I've got some particular weights programs that I've developed. I've got a beginners, a learners and an advanced. If you look in the notes below this video, I'll give you the links. You can also download the programs from our website. All the details are below in the notes. I look forward to seeing you soon. Thanks so much for joining me. It's been a privilege. Bye.